How did hackers breach Jaguar Land Rover? Welcome, we're very pleased you're here. If you're worried your 2021 Jaguar XE is going to maneuver itself into a ditch, probably not.
Turning IT headaches into business momentum.
Jaguar Land Rover themselves have not released a post-mortem of the September 2025 breach, but security researchers and leaked information from the attackers provide a pretty clear picture. And guess what? Was it a sophisticated exploitation of their systems by a computer genius? No. Allegedly, it was social engineering again. For those that don't know what social engineering means, it's a fancy way of saying that a member of staff let them in. That's not to say it wasn't slightly sophisticated in how the hacker convinced a member of staff to open the doors. Allegedly, the attacker used a technique known as vishing. Vishing is short for voice phishing. And this is when an attacker phones an employee pretending to be from IT support or a supplier, internal security, or just somebody that would gain the credentials if they convinced them. They build credibility through tone, jargon, or even referencing internal details scraped from LinkedIn or leaked documents. Once trust is established, they'll convince the employee to share login credentials or approve an MFA code over the phone, and that's all it takes. Once they had valid credentials, the attackers were reportedly able to access Jaguar Land Rover's internal systems, including manufacturing networks, halting production across multiple UK sites. The group behind the attack, called Medusa, later claimed responsibility and leaked data samples online to pressure Jaguar Land Rover into paying a ransom. Now, you might think, surely a company like Jaguar Land Rover has world-class cybersecurity. And yes, they probably do. Firewalls, endpoint protection, network segmentation, the lot. But none of that matters if someone answers a call and gives an attacker the keys to the castle. This is why employee awareness is one of the most crucial and often overlooked parts of cybersecurity. You can have all the tech in the world, but if your people are not trained to spot the social engineering tactics, it's game over. So, what can businesses learn from this? Number one, train your team regularly. Not once a year, make security awareness part of your culture. 2, use MFA everywhere, but educate staff that no one legitimate will ever ask for an MFA code from them. 3, implement just-in-time access and limit what any single account can do if compromised. 4, test your defenses. Run simulated phishing and vishing campaigns to see how your team responds. Because ultimately, cyber attacks aren't just a big business problem, they're a people problem. And the companies that take their people seriously are the ones that stay protected. And here's where it gets worse. It wasn't just Jaguar Land Rover that suffered. When production stopped, hundreds of suppliers were immediately affected. Some couldn't ship parts because Jaguar Land Rover's systems for managing orders, deliveries and payments were offline. Others had lorries sitting full of components that couldn't be received because factories were at a standstill. Tier 1 suppliers in the Midlands reported losing tens of thousands of pounds per day because their production lines were tied to Jaguar Land Rover's schedules. Smaller subcontractors, those that make specific brackets, sensors or wiring looms, had to halt work completely. And remember, in modern manufacturing, everything's connected. When one major manufacturer like Jaguar Land Rover goes down, the entire supply chain feels it, from raw material suppliers to logistics companies and dealerships waiting for finished vehicles. In some cases, it even rippled out to other industries like tooling firms, cleaners and caterers that service Jaguar Land Rover plants. So a single phone call, one successful vishing attempt didn't just disrupt a £1 billion manufacturer, it impacted hundreds of smaller UK businesses that rely on them. That's why cybersecurity isn't just about protecting your business, it's about protecting everyone who depends on you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video or found it interesting. For over 20 years, Aurora Tech Support has protected businesses like yours from attackers and acts of God. If you'd like to have a chat about your business, we'd love to hear from you.